Hello, everybody, and welcome to OpenExO Live. We're a little bit earlier this Thursday because we are speaking with Jennifer, who is in the Philippines. Great to be chatting to someone from the Philippines again, and you can see that there are a number of folks coming up in the coming weeks. Quite a few people from that part of the world too, and so that's really, really exciting. And so Jennifer, who's joining us, is the managing partner and director of Games to Unite Inc. and the co-founder of the Ubuntu game. She's an educator, an HR, and an organizational development practitioner by heart, and is really thrilled to explore how the EXO attributes can create more diverse and equitable and inclusive workplace environments where individuals' differences are not just recognized, but are celebrated and empowered. And before we get Jennifer up on screen, I do have this a testimonial from Lars, who just says, Jennifer is the living proof that purpose-driven groups of people can drive significant positive change in our world. Her work for the youngest upcoming generations and for rebooting the mindset of the rest of us is highly impactful. When Jennifer calls, make sure you take that call. And so with that, I want to welcome up Jennifer. Jennifer, welcome. How are you doing this afternoon for you?
Yes, beautiful afternoon here in the Philippines. I'm live streaming from Cavite, Philippines. Thank you, Kevin, for inviting me and to have this opportunity to share to your viewers the work that energizes me every day. Hello, everyone. I hope that wherever you are, you and your family are staying safe, healthy, and happy.
Awesome. That's really great. And so, Jennifer, I always like to start off by asking the guest just to give a bit of background about yourself. Where you've sort of come from, and how you found your way into the OpenExO community.
Absolutely. Well, I started my career journey in 2008, where I brought a wealth of knowledge, background in teaching. And for the last 14 years or so, I have worked with multinational matrixed organizations. And what I am most passionate about is the opportunity to build positive working environments. I believe that people flourish where their unique experiences, their cultural differences are not only seen and celebrated, but also empowered. Yeah. And as to my OpenExO journey, oh, it's funny because I joined two Purpose Alliance challenges, the future of unity and the future of education. And what I realized is some of the people, if not most of the people in the Purpose Alliance organization are also members of the OpenExO community. And truthfully speaking, I am attracted to smart people like a moth is attracted to the flame. So I started following Francisco Palau on LinkedIn, and I realized that he is also the co-founder of OpenExO community. Some of the disruptors and also the advisors on that Purpose Alliance organization are also advisors and mentors in the OpenExO community, like Eric Patel, Crystal To. We also have Soledad Llorente, Paco Briseño, among others. And the more that I spend time with the OpenExO community, the more that I am amazed with the collective intelligence of the people, you know. And I'm happy to be a part of this organization, this community that are working on impactful projects that are aimed at transforming and aimed at solving global problems.
Awesome. Absolutely. And so, at the end of the day, our community generally is attracted to the MTP of, transforming the world for a better future, but then also the the tools, the methodologies, and then the expertise of the people. It is such a wide range of different people from all over the world, generally fairly collaborative, which is pretty awesome about the community. And speaking about MTP, can you share with us what your MTP is?
Yeah, my personal MTP is co-creating the human collective experience, because I personally believe that all of us, regardless of race, creed, gender, ability, we all have the potential of greatness within us. And the key is to work, as you've said, work cooperatively, so that we can make this world a better place to live in. Now that you mentioned about MTP, I'm curious, what is also your personal MTP?
Absolutely. So my personal MTP is unlocking positive human potential. And so I couldn't agree with you more around the fact that there is great potential in every human being, no matter where they are from, what their background is. Yes, certain circumstances may make life more difficult for certain people to realize that, which
Mm-hmm.
is something that troubles me a lot. Saddens me a lot as well, and so I would love to see a world where we can unleash the potential of everyone, give people the opportunity to do things that really are meaningful to them, as opposed to just grinding 9 to 5 in order to make a living. So that's something that I'm really passionate about. There's
Mm-hmm.
there's the exponential individual, which is a group of EXO folks that meet every week and speak about this, and are also looking at building some tools around that. So yeah, it's something that I think we definitely agree on. And I've also had that privilege of being able to travel the world
Mm-hmm.
and seeing all sorts of different people and
Mm-hmm.
realizing we're all just a lot more similar than we are different, right?
That's
And
very true.
yeah,
Sorry
and
for
but
interrupting.
no, it's perfect. But our differences can actually also be celebrated and and take things to the next level. And I think that's something that is probably something that really excites you and you have a passion for, is that sort of diversity of thought, that and but how we can sort of leverage that with EXO thinking. So, you know, having gone through the consultant certification process and seeing the EXO model and the tools and what is sort of your learnings, and how do you connect that to your thinking around sort of diversity and inclusion? It'd be really interesting to hear.
Mm-hmm. Okay, before I answer that, it's beautiful that you shared your own OpenExO journey, and I can see that you're living up to your MTP. Actually, you are one of the most accomplished OpenExO community members that I know. So well done, Kevin, and thank you again
Thanks,
for
Jennifer.
like this platform that you allow OpenExO members to share their life story, so that others can also be inspired.
Yeah, absolutely. I love doing it.
Okay, so for going back, so you asked about what my learnings are after going through the OpenExO certification courses. Well, I took my EXO foundations in 2019, but life got in the way. So it was only now in 2022 that I finally got the energy and the time to take the OpenEXO um, certification consultant course. And there are three key takeaways. So number one is harness what I call the triple power of community and crowd engagement and autonomy, so that you will see your growth will be off the charts in no time. Okay, so if I may share, the new channel, which I'm a part of, is an online platform of online shows for people on the go. Our channel is a global 24/7 publication, and I'm proud to say that the new channel has reached 7.6 million on Facebook alone. We are also available on YouTube, IG, Spotify, and Apple Podcast. The top countries that we were able to reach include USA, UAE, Canada, Singapore, what else? Japan, Singapore, and of course, not to forget the Philippines. I believe that what helped us with explosive growth in just 2 years were three things. Number one, the dynamic and tech savvy viewers who go to the internet for their education, information, and entertainment. Number two, the content creators and the anchors who are themselves experienced professionals in the industries they represent. And number three, the individuals, brands, and organizations who support us as we help them stay relevant and visible. So that's key takeaway number one. Key takeaway number two is there is only one priority if an organization wants to be exponential, and that is to have a crystal clear MTP, which guides all its activities. So the MTP has to be in the organization's DNA. Now,
Mm.
as I mentioned earlier, I joined the Future of Unity Purpose Challenge. And our solution, an interactive gaming experience, which starts with a traditional board game with a mobile app and AR experience to role play what it's like to feel in the shoes of someone from a different race or place in life. And we were fortunate to be chosen as one of the projects to continue in the Purpose Evolver program. So that says something about the OpenExO community that they support people. I'm happy because there are so many people who helped us, like Eric Patel and Crystal Do, who served as our advisors under Purpose Evolver. So we have people who helped us create the beta version in Tabletopia. And now we have someone who also believes in the MTP and helping us create it in Unity. So I believe that people, if they believe in your MTP, there will be no problem. Challenge, encouraging them, or pulling them into what you are doing.
Yeah.
So that's key takeaway number two. And then key takeaway number three is every organization, regardless of their size, can be exponential. I believe that Kevin, you wrote something that even small medium enterprises can also be exponential. Is that correct?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
did. I wrote an article for Insights. Yeah.
Yeah, so and I thought while I was reading that, well, this is wonderful. Kevin thought that any organization, regardless of their size, can be exponential. It's not only for very large organizations. Anyway, yeah, and they can be exponential as they apply the EXO methodologies, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Now, one of the projects is sponsored by OpenExO, and one that I am also supporting. Oh, you may have noticed here the pattern that I have so many projects that I also support because I believe in the MTP of these projects, and I believe in the people. For example, for EFC Global. EFC Global for rural communities and Latin American communities. So I help my good friend Angelo Ortega Perez. By the way, Angela was the one who also sponsored me to the OpenExO consultant certification course, and he also agreed to become my client for the consultant course. All right, so going back to the EFC Global. So EFC Global, the trust is to offer a bridge between the poor rural Latin American communities who has no or little access to spoken English and foreign volunteers. We want to bridge the gap between the huge inequality that is affecting the kids and the teens in terms of job, culture, and friendships. So some of the short-term or quick wins that we had for the last year was we offered free English speaking sessions for a year. That's every Friday. And we have a course for teens in Venezuela in alliance with Rotaño, an institution in Venezuela. And we also have a pilot with a rural school in Gultro with 10 children. We also have a Discord community with a bot inside that interface. Now, what are the next steps for the EFC Global? A possible partnership with Liceo Oscar Castro, which is located in Rancagua, and then also connect the volunteers and connect the volunteers with this rural with more communities, and then also design it with a sustainable global mindset. Yeah, so those are my three key takeaways from having undergone the certification courses.
Man, so you really have dived in. Just hearing you speak, it seems like you really are living the EXO attributes, understand where to use them, which is really amazing. And I truly stand by my article around any organization can be an EXO.
Mm-hmm.
Over 600 people have gone through the consultant certification, and as you know, that you need to bring a client. You need to. It's a very much a learn by doing program, right? You're going through the process of working with a client, and the businesses that people have brought to that certification range from retail shops through to, I think there's been a golf course, there's been NGOs,
Mm-hmm.
there's and then there's been large telecoms and tech companies as well. And another thing that's really interesting is so Pedro Lopecelo is a community member and heads up EXO Builder for us. We once had a conversation where he spoke about how they were using the EXO model to help crafts people who are making Mexican crafts, to actually look at how they can better sell their crafts. And that is the most analog business that you can sort of think of, right? And so really you definitely can look at leveraging the model, no matter how big the organization is. That's for sure. And so, Jennifer, you also helped us translate our exponential transformation guide into Filipino. Do you want to share a little bit about how that experience was?
Oh my, you know what? Halfway through the translation, I was partly blaming myself. I was thinking, what did I get myself into? Why did I volunteer in the first place? Because I thought, mistaken notion, that since I speak the language, it would be a kinch. But I've realized that there are many terms that cannot be easily translated to Filipino. So some of the terms I just borrowed it, because anyway there are many Filipino terms that we just directly translated from the English language. For example, we don't have a Filipino translation for refrigerator or microwave oven. So I said, okay, so there's really some things that I cannot translate in Filipino. And then I thought it would only take me at the most 1 month, but it took me 4 months. and I was thinking, should I continue? But I couldn't. Number one, I couldn't let you down because you believed in me. You believed that I could translate it. And I couldn't let myself down because I didn't want to regret that I did not do my best. I don't want to live with the question, what if? What if I summoned enough courage to translate it, and then it turned out well. So I didn't want to live with that. And I didn't want to let down the very people that I said I would want to read this transformation guide, because I've said as I applied for the translation is I want this to reach as many people as possible, even those people whose English proficiency is not that very good. So I want them to be able to learn it, because that's my frustration. I have so many good, we have so many good books like Good to Great, we have Built to Last, and we have Exponential Organizations, the thick one. And I was thinking to myself, it would be wonderful, it would be beautiful if everyone has access to that, regardless of the language facility. So that sometimes frustrates me. Unfortunately, I don't think my life is enough. My life is enough and my energy is enough. If I try to translate all the books that I wanted to be translated in my native language.
Yeah. No, absolutely. It is definitely not an easy thing to do. And so, a massive thank you to you for doing that. We now that guide is available in about 16 languages, 15, 16 languages, which is very few if you think about the hundreds of languages that there are in the world. But at least it does give us that diversity, that access to people, because we couldn't agree more with you that whilst the primary language, I guess, of OpenExO would be English. All these OpenExO lives happen in English. Unfortunately, I'm one of those terrible people who only speaks English. But we see such an opportunity in multiple languages, and so it's for that reason that we work with our community members. We've translated, for example, the foundations into, it's in English and Spanish and Portuguese, and Italian's coming, and Chinese is coming, and Greek is coming.
Wow.
And this is because of people like you, people who say, I want this to be more accessible. I think that there's not only opportunity for me, but opportunity for us to transform our region, our country, which is so awesome to see. So a massive thank you to you too for going through all the effort and getting it out there. Really appreciate it.
It's an honor and a privilege. When I saw the final product, and I was, wow, this is so beautiful.
Yeah, absolutely. And so, Jennifer, the time pretty much has come to an end. It's been a very awesome conversation, interesting conversation. What is that one thing that you want to, as we end off the conversation, sort of share with those that are watching?
Well, for me, from the OpenExO experience, the certification course that I had, I would encourage everyone, if you're not yet a member of the OpenExO community, to consider being a member, because we have a very supportive community here. And if you want to level up, as they say in the global influencer industry lingo, glow up. If you want to level up and be the best that you can, surround yourself with smart people like the OpenExO community members. I would like to claim I'm one of them. We are two of them, Kevin.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So surround yourself with the OpenExO community members so that you can be in the company of people who are working to create a better world for us all. We owe it to our children. We owe it to our children, those who will be our emerging leaders in let's say 5 or 10 years, to leave them a world that is better than how we found it.
Absolutely. Couldn't agree more. Jennifer, it's been wonderful chatting to you today. Looking forward to further conversations and seeing you doing awesome and amazing things in and around the community. Thank you so much. And yeah, we'll chat to you again soon.
Thank you so much, Kevin, again.
Sure. Bye-bye.
Bye for now.
So great chatting to Jennifer and hearing about what she's doing, how passionate she is about EXO and what it can do in the world. It's been wonderful chatting to you. We'll see you all again next week.